All right, so it's Saturday morning, and today is the day. This is the day I've been waiting for a long time. My buddy Matt's over here to help me, and we're gonna get this thing fired up. All right, we are full of fluids. We got the valve covers off. We got the distributor out. All right, so we're about to prime the oil pump, and here we go. Yeah. All right, so one positive thing is the gauges are working. So when you turn the key to the first position, they cycle on. And I got volts and obviously no oil pressure yet, but that's about to change here in just a minute.
Now we're in America, where cars run on beer. America. Now, you ready? Yeah. Okay? Yep. We gotta get some fuel pressure build up.
Yeah.
More beer. That's right. Fired right up though, didn't it?
Yeah.
Only American-made beer can work on this one.
Ready?
Yeah.
Say.
Never tighten your fuel lines.
Yeah, fuel lines are spitting out both sides.
Why couldn't I turn it off?
I don't know. We checked it. Remember when we checked voltage and it wasn't?
Who wired this thing?
The fuel lines are, I tightened them.
Oh, they're
Oh
like
no,
a sieve.
no, they're spitting out both sides, double.
It runs.
But you just can't turn it off.
Turn it off.
Oh, that's why we checked it. Remember, I checked when we were off switching it. Ran out of. That's why I was working to make sure that when it
Has nothing to do with that.
got 12 nothing to do with what.
That doesn't mess with
Yeah, because it was spitting out both sides of both fuel lines.
Remember?
Ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, I mean, I'm happy, but I'm kind of pissed off because the wiring, something's not right with the steering column. The ignition, it won't turn off.
That'll be an easy fix though. Don't let it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd fire the guy that did the wiring.
whoever did that damn wiring. Oh. Thanks, brother.
You got it, man.
All your help, man. Appreciate it. All right, so we had success in starting the motor up, but obviously couldn't turn it off. So now that Shane and Matt have gone, I had some time to read the instructions in the painless wiring book, and it says You can see it right there. In some installs, you may experience engine run-on. This is caused when essentially it's the wire, the exciter wire to the alternator, giving feedback to the distributor. And the way that you fix that is install a diode, and the diode prevents the current. It only allows it to go one way, so it will only go to the alternator and not back to the distributor. So that's what it looks like. Let's see if I can get my camera to focus on this little guy here. That's what it looks like, and it's got a faint white stripe on the side that goes to the alternator. So I soldered this in, and it still didn't work. And when I put this in, I had nothing. I had no gauges, no controls, no starter. The starter wasn't engaging, nothing. So I called, I did it, steering column, tech support, talked to them, and they said that this is a common problem with the painless wiring kit, and he said, you got to put the diode in. I said, I put the diode in where I was supposed to, and it still's not working. And he said, well, it's probably a defective diode, get another one. So literally, I went onto Amazon, ordered these things, and that is literally you get like 20 of them for $5. It's not an expensive part, and I cannot believe that this thing held up the entire project. So now, when I start the Jeep, and obviously I've just got it in here with jumper cables, but you can see the white stripe on that, and the white stripe has to be facing in the wiring towards the alternator. And now when I start up the Jeep, everything works, and I can turn it off with the key. So let me show you that real quick. So when the motor's running, it turns off now that I've installed that little diode. So it is definitely working as it should work. And damn, that motor's loud. Alright, so what an experience that was. So the motor fired right up, no problems at all. I guess I didn't tighten down my fuel lines, as Matt called out, and the fuel lines were leaking that connected to the carburetor. Thought for sure I tightened them down. I double checked most bolts a couple of times, and I guess I just overlooked it. So no big deal, we tightened those up. It built up the right fuel pressure, and the motor definitely runs, turns and starts up very quickly every time you do it. And like I said in the video, the only problem that we had was the wouldn't turn off with the key. So I guess I was a little disappointed about that, or a lot disappointed about that, but a little bit of study, a little bit of research, and then who would have thought that the diode that they gave you in the painless kit was defective, and when I put a new one in there, it solved all the problems. So kind of confirmed to me that I did do all my wiring right, because I was starting to think that I didn't, and my buddy Shane was kind of picking on me saying, who wired this thing, right? So he was just being funny about that, but all the wiring's done right, all the gauges work. Still have to confirm that the electric fan turns on and is working, but we haven't gotten the motor to a temperature where it would turn on yet, and still need to confirm the temperature gauge is working, because again, we didn't let the motor warm up at all, just starting it up first time today. So alright, so that was a really cool experience, and the motor's really loud. It's just got headers on it right now, and I've got to obviously get it drivable and then take it down to the muffler shop to get the exhaust put on. So a couple of things, actually a lot of things still left to do. You can see that obviously the fenders and the hood are off. We've gotten everything else working except for the hydraulic clutch. We haven't been successful in bleeding that, and those can be, according to Matt, pretty difficult to bleed sometimes, and mine is proving to be very difficult. So we got to work on that. I got my brake lines from Plastic Tube to go into my aftermarket proportioning valve, and they're close. So they're not perfect, they're close. So I'm going to have to kind of custom bend those and make those connect to the new factory kit that I bought from Plastic Tube, and get those things joined together and get them into the proportioning valve, tighten up everything as it relates to brakes, and then of course bleed the brakes down. Once all that's done, then I can start putting the Jeep back together for the final time. I've got to zip tie up and hang a lot of the wiring. I've got to test my radio to make sure that's working. It's pretty simple connections. I'm pretty sure that'll be working. I got to get the fenders on and the hood on, and then we'll drive it around the block a couple times, see how it runs. That'll be pretty exciting to actually be able to drive it. We got a little bit of work to do on the vacuum advance on the distributor to the carburetor. We haven't gotten a line on that yet, and I think that's why it was kind of idling as high as it was when I just fired it up to show you guys that the diode solved the problem. So a lot of little things left to do still before I can even take it out on the road. And one more thing real quick is just a kind of a special shout out to my buddy Matt. He's given up a lot of his personal time with his family to come over here and help me with this Jeep. And certainly today, starting this thing up, he was definitely the brains behind the operation, because, you know, I'd never done anything like this before, and he's done it multiple times. So really appreciate you, Matt. Thanks for helping me out, and again, taking time away from your family to come over here and help me with this thing and get it running. So this is definitely one of the coolest videos I've done, and this has been I guess the peak of you know, many years of working on this Jeep, and certainly the last 6 months pretty intensively working on this thing. So it runs, we got it fired up, we had that one issue where it wouldn't turn off. We solved that, and we've got a couple more mechanical things to work through, some tweaks, some adjustments, a lot of testing to do, get it back together, get it to the muffler shop, and then at that point I'll be pretty much done. So stay tuned to the channel for more cool videos to come, and if you like this video, if you like the content of the channel, hit that subscribe button. And hey, thanks for watching.